What up? It's your boy Codename Duchess. We are approaching the end of the 24 game cycle, so we wanted to do the best cards, in my opinion, in 2K24 for the game cycle. Now, that might sound really simple, but we have some criteria. But before we jump into it and show you the criteria, if this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button, smash that like button. Don't forget to follow us on Twitch, Twitter, TikTok. 2K25 is coming. You don't want to miss out. So, jumping into this, the criteria. We are looking at how long the card played for, how long you could use the card for, the card's longevity, how easy or cheap it was to get the card, and then how dominant or how much better than all the other cards it was at the time that the card came out. We're going to show you the top 10 cards that hit that criteria, in my opinion. I love doing a video like this because I would love to hear y'all's opinions. I'm sure that there's a lot of opinions on what the top 10 cards were. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of varying. Would love to hear the comments. Would love to have the discussion. First, we're going to do some honorable mentions, though, cards that didn't quite make the list, so you guys know that I didn't just forget about these cards and pretend they didn't exist. There are reasons that they didn't hit this list, so let's dive into it. So while he's not a top 10 card, you can't tell the story of 2K24 without the best offline grinding card, possibly of all time, Ruby Kyle Korver. Honorable mention number 1. Not that he's going any ranking. Next one's going to be twofer, and we're going to take a little bit of time with this honorable mention. It's actually two people. It's the Franz Jalen Suggs duo. They were both rubies. If you did salary cap, you know what I mean. These cards were unstoppable when played together. Not good enough to crack the top 10, but young Orlando legends, so we're going to let them run for a minute. That Jalen Suggs card could shoot, he could finish, he could play D. Franz, when duoed up with him, could do everything. 6'9", 6'10" at the shooting guard. These cards were a menace. Couldn't do this without mentioning the Day 1 GOAT, that Ruby Giannis card that you can get Day 1 for the season pass. Dominated through the entire season 1, was the best power forward. And then, didn't quite make the top 10, but that Pink Diamond Kristaps, when you could still get cards from the player market, definitely worth the honorable mention. Card could stroke it, card could handle. If you badged and shooed, this card was money. And then Diamond Shack. Who can forget Diamond Shack? Came in literally unstoppable, the best they've done at doing a true Shaq type card in MyTeam ever. Not good enough to make the top 10. His domination wasn't long enough. But when he first came out, you had to have this card or you were getting bullied. And then Amy Anthony Davis, the only answer to that Diamond Shack. Defensive menace, could finish, wasn't as good a finisher down low, but didn't get bullied by Shaq. It was the first non-bullied card. Blocked everything. Card was a problem. And he had a nice jumper. You could stroke it with this. Diamond James Harden. Doesn't quite make the cut, but man, this card could shoot. If you needed a bucket, this was your go-to guy early on. Early on in 2K24. Wasn't a bad defender either. Bully people inside. Surprisingly, like 88 strength. And then Diamond Giannis. Any Giannis card is a straight problem. There was Day 1 Ruby. When this Diamond came out, he was an even bigger problem. Giannis is just any card. Any card ever, 2K. Opal Austin Reeves. If you know, you know. This card, free. Wasn't that bad of a grind if I remember correctly. It may have been the super long grind, actually. Money jumper, though. Had all these defensive badges, not good defensive stats, though. And then Glenn Rice. One of the greatest cards of my team all time. This jumper was straight money. The only reason he doesn't make the top 10 is because the grind was unbearable. So when we hit the criteria of how easy it was to get the card, sorry Glenn Rice, you land outside the top 10. Coming in at number 10, we got Diamond David Robinson. Coming from the Tis the Past set. This card was good. It was good. He could carry you through December into January, February. It was center number 1 for me, center number 2 for a long time. Didn't have the best jump shot, but it had a nice visual cue at the top of it. And he was the only card who really could give Wemby a lot of problems when that Wemby card came out. There was Kareem too, but Kareem didn't have a jump shot really at all. They always juice They always juice David Robinson's jumper for whatever reason. This dude was the pick and pop at the time. And all for less than $200K when cards were still on the market. Next up at number 9, from the gift that keeps on giving, the Christmas promo that we got, Devin Booker. Shooting guard, point guard. This card, the leaner, the off the dribble, this card was an automatic bucket. At the time he came out, less than 200,000, Hall of Famer, limitless blinders, mini magic, most shooting badges. Yeah, he could be victimized on defense. But for most, what he could give you on offense at the time, more than made up for it. But we do have to recognize a MyTeam GOAT, Devin Booker, getting 2 spots on this list. Coming in at number 8 is the AMI Devin Booker. At the time, at the beginning of the game, this card was an automatic bucket walking out of the case. Smoothest day 1 card we had, automatic bucket, and for the time could carry you through half of Season 2 and even longer into salary cap if that was your game mode. The Devin Booker card was just amazing this year. He's always been amazing. Was a bit pricey as you had to finish one of the entire sets of the legendary player things, which were a little bit expensive at the beginning of the game, but totally worth it. Coming in at number 7, we have Penny Hardaway, Orlando Magic legend. Had to make the list. But beyond just being an Orlando Magic legend, he was a 6'8" point guard, easy jump shot. Like, we had Magic at the time, but Magic's jump shot, if you've used it, ugly. This card was smooth. Jump shot wasn't like late game smooth, but for the time, this was point guard 1. This was point guard 1 for a while. This card can still run today. I am torching dark matters with this card in this video. This card was smooth. He was lengthy. He was a problem on defense. At spin step back, this card was just good and lasted forever. Was a bit pricey as you had to finish one of the sets, but in that set you also got David Robinson. So, worth it. Coming in at number 6. One of the more pricier cards in MyTeam, yes, because you had to finish an entire promo to get Diamond LeBron James. But hands down, the most one-on-one dominant card. I remember playing a game and I was up by like 14, and he just came in and bulldozed me. By the time I realized what had happened, he took such advantage of Paul George. I was down by 20. Kid you not, he just came in and there was nothing I could do. He just ran over him. This card at the time, unstoppable on offense. Runs straight through people. Small forward, power forward. Like I said, a bit pricey, a bit difficult to get. But at the time, you had to have LeBron. Coming in at number 5, for more than just gameplay reasons, it's Diamond Paul George. The day after man himself. Not only did this card give everybody unlimited MT that was able to take advantage of the glitch, possibly one of the most famous glitches in MyTeam history, this card was a straight bucket and a defensive menace. Not that difficult to get. It was part of completing the chat set on your way to getting LeBron James. But this card alone was 100% worth it. Him, LBJ, by the time you were done, just, if you know, you know. And if you didn't get him on the way to LBJ, you were MT rich by the end of Christmas break. Coming in at number 4, it's a totally free card. It's Galaxy Opal James Harden. This card was the level 40 reward in Season 6. He still plays today. You can still cook people online with this James Harden card. Smooth. James Harden was a menace all year. His other card made honorable mention. Easy to get down jumper. Was on very quick. Again, for whatever reason, they juice his strength. Card can go inside and body up bigs. Just a really solid, super easy to get. Well, it took a grind. Level 40 is always a grind unless you buy your way there. But always a really good card. Break people down. Just a really smooth, fun, that step back. Fun card. And that range. Coming in at number 3. Pink Diamond, Victor Wembanyama. This card was a menace. If you know, you know. You had to have him. He was on your way to Kobe. You might as well get him. Christmas, rejoice. Happy holidays. Let's go. Card was a beast. Could handle the point. You could run plays with him as the point, despite him only having center cap. He was an issue. He still plays today. You can still load up and find people running him. Block everything. Arms go on forever. The only reason he's not higher on the list is because he was kind of expensive to get. But this card could get the block, get the contest, get the rebound on one end, push and be your point guard on the other. Look at him find. Look at him find. Super fun card. You had to have him at the time. Coming in at number 2, though, Chet Holmgren. Probably not as good a card as Wemby. Wemby was probably better, but this Chet card was totally free. Easy to get. All you had to do was get 200 blocks any game mode. You had a lifetime to do it. So easy to get. Free. Thank you, 2K. This was when you were actually winning over the fans. Nice smooth jumper. The first card I ever scored 30 with in an online game. Just, if you know, you know. Everybody had this card. Like I said, super easy to get. Contests. Shutting down a GOAT there. And at number 1, who else other than Mr. Kobe Bryant? Mr. Kobe Bean. Somehow my team lost my rights halfway through the game cycle. Bryant. His card, to this day, is still one of the best cards in my team. Smooth. Can hit the jumper. Finishes. Has the post-up game. Defensive menace. All around. Kobe was probably the best card in the game. Longevity. Like I said, still plays. Came out at Christmas time. He was amazing. You had to have this card. So that's it. That's my top 10 cards of 2K24. Based on when they came out, longevity, ease of getting, cost, that kind of stuff. I'm sure there were some errors. I'm sure that there is, in your opinion, a card that I rated way too high, or a card that I rated way too low, or a card that I didn't even put in honorable mentions that you think should be number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I would love to hear that. Drop your comments below. Hit that like button if this is your first time here. Hit that subscribe button. You don't want to miss out on what we're going to be doing in 2K25. We got a lot more coming. That's all I got for you tonight, though. Hope y'all have a good night. I'll catch y'all next time.